Okay.
All right, so let's give out some individual awards here. How about your offensive player of the game? JR, we haven't started with you yet. Let's start with you.
Oh boy, I feel like everybody's gonna take JJ, so I'll go with Mecca Ibuka, 3 touchdowns in the game. That first touchdown that Will Howard threw, I felt like was impressive. It was a little bit behind him. That of course is me being nitpicky there, but for him to hang on to the ball even after he was getting hit and get it across the goal line enough for him to be able to get that touchdown was definitely impressed by that. So and I just love Mecca's leadership. I mean, this season I find myself rooting for him so much. Don't get me wrong, I'm rooting for JJ and all the other guys as well. But him coming back and doing everything that he's doing, how unselfish he's being, the blocking, it continues to be spectacular in this game. I was wondering how the blocking would be with Carnell Tate out of the game because he has been such an impactful blocker on the edge. It definitely the guys coming in for him. We're not, exactly equal replacements, but Mecca was still blocking really well. So I got to give it to Mecca Ibuka.
Corey.
I like that. Quick. I want to go Will Howard, but that one interception just really pissed me off because it was so late and it was just hanging there. Um, but I will say, then the back shoulder to Mecca towards the end zone, I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. You can't throw a deep ball, but you threw that beauty. I don't get it. But I'll go Josh Fryer because I always like to go with an offensive lineman. I thought I was watching him going, man, he is crushed. He's killing people. So and they ran to the right a lot, it seemed like, in the game. And they haven't done that, it seemed like, going into this season. They've been mostly going towards the left. So I was like, man, Fryer and Tishabola must be getting it done. So I'm just going to go with Fryer. I like to go with an offensive lineman and give the big guy some credit.
Okay.
My big body appreciates that, Corey, that you show some love, some us big guys. I'm going with Emeka Egbuka. And the question that was thrown out there by Larry Daniels about where is Egbuka on the career catch board. If you hang around to after our commercial break, and Chris, myself, and Corey, we're going to talk about where he's at on multiple record boards right now,
Yes.
and where we think he might end up, and what we believe he means to this team. Um, so that being said, yeah, I give my Buckeye Leaf for offensive player of the game to Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you guys just because, I would have loved to have given it to JJ, but like Eric said, he did make those two freshman mistakes. One was much more impactful in my decision than the other. I don't mind the celebrating, but yeah, that fumble, was probably the only
Carrying
difference
it like a
between.
loaf of bread, too, when he
Yeah,
fumbled.
exactly. So I got to go with the Meka Egbuka here. So defensive player of the game, Jr. You want to start us out again?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with IGB, Davison Igbinosun. Got the first interception of his career, and I love that he was just manhandling those Iowa wide receivers. It looked like those boys, had never stepped into the club before, and Davison Igbinosun threw him right out of the club. So I was a little concerned on the interception. I was like, oh no, that's definitely pass interference. But the ball got tipped, so I was like, all right, Iggy, if that ball's tipped, man, you put your hands all over him, you do whatever you want to him, man. And he did in that one. So I love to see Davison Igbinosun come back from the game he had against Michigan State, where people were kind of questioning him. There were some people saying like, "Oh, should Jermaine Matthews be getting a chance to start or something like that?" Well, Davison Igbinosun comes out and he shows, just how impactful he is to this team. Maybe he's not always going to be the best guy out there on the outside. I mean, he's not. Denzel Burke is fantastic. He's one of the best corners in all of college football. So that's not a knock on Davison Igbinosun, but his physicality, his effort, how hard nosed he is, it really brings a different aspect to this defense. And I'm glad to see him put in the effort and get rewarded with an interception.
Corey?
Yeah, Iggy does have that dog in him for sure. Love it. I'm gonna go with Sonny Styles. He's been getting dogged by me as well, probably rightfully so through the season. But man, he came alive yesterday and finished up his assignment and had a great game. I'm very 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 happy for him. I hope it's starting to go on for him as a linebacker since he's just now become a linebacker because he's so athletic and he's so gifted. You can see what he can do on the field once he gets it. if the light's going on for him, watch out Big Ten because you got another stud linebacker.
Eric.
Yeah, I went with Sonny Styles as well. I think he led the team in tackles yesterday as well. So, and like I said, after us and almost essentially every podcast I listened to was kind of calling him out for his game the previous week and for basically a slow start. I thought it was refreshing to see how well he did. Now, that being said, I think I got a really good explanation from Berm on maybe why he's starting a little bit slow. It has a lot to do with the fact that he's never played freaking linebacker before in his life until this year. But apparently, his football IQ is so high that the coaching staff was like, oh, he's going to get it. Don't you worry. And
Mhm.
Well, and
we
he's an
saw
athletic freak too. I
he
mean, like,
is.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really interested to find out when both these guys, him and Kenyatta Jackson, both go to the NFL Combine, like what their measurables are and things, because both those guys are just like freaky athletes, man. And you know how the NFL loves that. So I do have to point this out though. Skeeter's in the house, man. Skeeter, that was a tough one, buddy. That was
Hey, hey,
that was a royal
Skeeter.
beatdown.
Guess for the second week in a row whose team cost me. Just saying.
So you're saying Skeeter owes you some money?
Well, you know, they were the ones that got me for the $99,000.
Yeah. What was that bet again?
It was a 15 team $10 parlay against
That
the
would have
spread.
that would have paid 99 grand.
Yeah. Anyhow, uh, you could have went a million ways with defensive player of the game here. Um, but I think you got to go with that defensive line because I think they were just brutal. I'm going to specifically go with Ty Hamilton. I mean, 5 tackles. He got a sack, tackle for loss. I mean, he was in there, man. Yeah,
Forced
Jack
a fumble
Sawyer.
too, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, he was the one that forced the fumble that Kenyatta got, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but then you also had how about Jack Sawyer? He called out Caleb Johnson for
Johnson.
running his mouth and basically said, "Hey, thanks for the bulletin board material," and then he went out there and backed his up. So yeah, but I took Ty Hamilton on that one. So offense. Oh yes, offensive play or hit of the game. Eric, let's go in
Offensive.
reverse order this time.
Are we going to go offense or defense?
Or offensive play of the game. There we go.
Okay. It's just becoming a routine to just say you, you got to give it to Jeremiah Smith, right? I mean, like, I I guess you could pick one of Emeka Buka's catches, but
Maybe that first touchdown. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Jeremiah Smith. Not I love how he literally is catching it with one handed and literally telling the defender, "Get off me."
Get off me.
At the
Yeah.
same time, it's like I think someone said it might have been you, Corey. His left brain was saying catch the football. His right brain was saying get off me. Someone made that comment
That wasn't me,
on
but that's
Twitter.
good.
Yeah, someone made that comment on Twitter. I thought that was funny. Yeah, that's my offensive play of the game. Give it to Jeremiah Smith, one-handed touchdown.
Corey.
I'm going to go with Emeka's first touchdown for one reason. It's because of the first time anybody scored on an opening drive on Iowa in 27 games, and
Oh wow, good one.
that's a wildly impressive stat at Ohio State. Chip Kelly is just sitting back like, yeah, I'm in my bag. I got it. And I share the love of Emeka with you guys. I'm so happy for him. 3 touchdown game, but I got to go with that first touchdown, like sealed off that stat, and that stat is now dead. Ohio State killed it. Awesome.
Jr.
yeah, I mean, I don't have anything super original. Jeremiah Smith touchdown catch, one-handed. Yeah, telling the other guy to get off him and just shoving him into the ground. I will say underrated one because I don't want to copy
Don't take
Eric.
mine. Don't take mine.
Well, I'll try not to, but I don't know. This one was pretty good. They were raving about Jay Higgins on the
Ah, you're
broadcast.
taking mine.
They were raving about Jay Higgins on the podcast or on the broadcast, and that Quinshawn Judkins stiff arm.
Yeah,
Which, don't get
Yeah.
me
that
wrong,
was
Jay Higgins is a very good linebacker. I'm not trying to disrespect the guy. He's a very good linebacker. He earns his All-American status. But boy, I'll let you go into it, Chris,
Yeah.
since I stole it. But that stiff
Hey,
arm was
Higgins was the
nasty.
2023 Big Ten leading tackler
Yeah,
yeah,
in the
100 like
conference last
71
season.
tackles or something like that. Which I mean, that's
Yeah,
what happens when your offense goes 3-and-out every time. But still,
Yeah.
like,
right. But I almost tweeted, but I felt it was too early to tweet it because I was like, I don't want to eat my words, so I didn't. But I almost tweeted OSU running backs greater than Iowa linebackers.
I
And
mean,
well,
it's
and,
true.
Jay Higgins did have a pretty good game, except when he was trying to tackle Quinshawn Judkins. Because Judkins, yeah, kind of, you guys mentioned it with JJ, just kind of throwing the guy down. I mean, this is an all-American linebacker, and Quinshawn just put that hand out there and just he didn't stiff arm. I mean, just literally shoved him to the ground and just ran past him.
Hmm.
That was a thing of beauty. So that was actually my choice for offensive play of the game.
I see why we're getting
Defense,
transfers from Ole Miss. They're dogs, man. Jeez.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, Eric, defensive play or hit of the game, and there's
I'm
so
gonna
many
go
to
with
choose from.
Jack Sawyer strip sack for me. It was a critical point in the game. It really gave us the momentum we needed to put it away at that point and kind of increase our lead. And uh, when he's in the backfield, everything changes for this defense. So not that I'm putting everything on Jack Sawyer, but when he's able to be that third missing Bosa brother, this defense is completely different.
Yeah, Corey.
It's a obscure play, but it addresses what I think is the new physicality of the defense. Caleb Downs had a hit on the sideline where he just clocked
Mhm.
somebody, and that's the kind of stuff that just gets me excited. It's old school football, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're hitting again. We're cracking people. We have dogs on the defense that are looking to hit people. And I can't say enough how much I love Caleb Downs being a Buckeye. So,
And Corey, I know exactly the one you're talking about because wasn't it a little a pass out to a
yeah.
running back out there on the edge, and he got that thing, and then Downs just lit him up and put him
Mhm.
about 4 yards deep on the sideline.
Clean hit too.
Yeah, it was great. Jr.
Yeah, I mean, I already talked about it, so I won't go into it much. But just that interception by Davison Igbinosun, love that he threw the guy just over out of bounds, took it and ran with it. He almost had a touchdown with it. That would have been pretty cool for him to get. But yeah, just great play.
Yeah, I'll tell you. My heart tells me, or my mind tells me, I should go with the Jack Sawyer strip sack. It was huge, like Eric said, critical time. But there was one play later in the game that was just I thought hilarious. I can't remember whether it was Caden McDonald or Caden Curry, but one of those guys hit the running back as he was trying to come through the hole and literally flipped him in the air.
Mm.
I can't remember which of the Cadens it was, but that I thought was just a great hit and kind of just summarized the way the game went for Iowa. So, um, you know what though, I do I got to agree with Eric. I got to go with the strip sack. It was the more crucial hit, so I'm going to go that route.
Yeah. Half a Buckeye uh, to what's his name for starting a fight. Um,
Caden Curry.
yeah, Curry.
Yeah.
It's football,
And if
you
I go
know.
back and review that again, we have to give him a full Buckeye if it's Caden Curry that did the flip.
There you go.